24. Please direct your attention to the University Marshal, Lillian Beza Mendoza.
Friends, guests, and candidates for degrees, welcome. It is my pleasure to present the faculties of the School of Education and School of Communication, the candidates for doctoral degrees, the administration of American University, and our honored guests. American University's 147th commencement will now begin.
Representing the City of Alexandria, pipes and drums. Thank you all. Thank you. Candidates for degrees, honored guests, parents, family, alumni, and friends, on behalf of the American University community, welcome to Commencement. I want to take a moment to acknowledge the members of our Board of Trustees who are with us today. Our Board Chair, Gina Adams, former Chair Jack Cassell, Mehdi Haravi, and our Alumni Board President, Latanya Southern. Thank you all for being here. I want to take a moment to pause and recognize the pain and the division that's in our world, our nation, and our community. However, today is about our graduates, and today is a day that we celebrate. We celebrate a decision that you all made years ago to pursue higher education. It was one of the most important decisions of your life, and one of the many times that you all said, challenge accepted. We celebrate all that you have brought to this university, your incredible energy, your intellect, and your passion, and what you will take with you as change makers. And we celebrate that we are all here today able to celebrate this moment together. Please join in the singing of our national anthem, led by Emily Brignan, who graduated earlier today and is back with us, and from the School of International Service. And please remain standing for our invocation, which will be offered by Reverend Dr. Rachel Livingston. Emily.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Gracious God, God who orders the sun to rise and the wind to blow, who creates the rain to fall so that the flowers will grow, God who has orchestrated the cosmos and intricately designed each person in humanity and has placed something special in each person and encouraged them to live out who they are. We give thanks to you on this day. We give you thanks for this day of accomplishment for our graduates. Some of us have taken a long, rough journey to be here from the beginning of time. You know the plans that you have for each person in the room. Plans to prosper and not harm them. Plans to give them hope for a future. Let them know that as each of them knocks on the doors of the real world, you are with them. Life may continue to life, but God will always be God. Bless their days from this moment on. Encourage them to stay true to their dreams and the path you have set before them. Grant them discernment to do what is right, good, and just in the world, and give them the ability to serve this world in ways that transform it into a better place. We give you thanks for the families who have struggled and worked hard to make this hopeful moment a reality. We give you thanks for professors and administrators who challenge us to rise to the occasion and grow in knowledge. We give you thanks for our fellow students who held us accountable and collaborated to make us better. May your Spirit continue to guide us now and into the future. As we go forward on this journey, may God give us this comfort with false teachings to speak out in truth, anger at injustice that makes us work for justice, equality, and peace, tears for those who suffer so that we might bring comfort and joy, bravery to believe that we can make a difference in the world, and grace to show love to all those around us. May God's journey for us allow us to use our gifts and transform the world, and may God guide our path forever and always. Amen.
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Emily. Thank you. Please be seated. It is my pleasure to welcome University Provost Vicki Wilkins to the podium to continue our program.
Although this day is about our graduates, we also want to take a moment to recognize the scholars and teachers who guided them in their journey of intellectual development and achievement. I ask the faculty of the School of Communication and the School of Education to please rise and receive the appreciation of your students, their families, and friends. Please rise. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dean of the School of Communication, Lena Jaswal, who will address the Assembly. Dean Jaswal.
Thank you, Provost Wilkins, and congratulations, Class of 2024. We are so grateful to be part of your journey to graduation. Today marks a major milestone in SOC's history. 30 years ago, we graduated the first class of students under a newly launched American University School of Communication. It is extra special for me and another professor who shares our stage today, Professor Pallavi Kumar, because we were part of that first graduating class, and we are proud alumni of SOC. As we celebrate today, take the time to acknowledge your family, your friends, your mentors, the incredible faculty and staff who have helped you to get to this moment. Please give them a round of applause and appreciation for their support. I'd like you to also pause and take in the gravity of this special day. Nobody knows resilience like your generation, ending high school and starting college with the pandemic. And while you may have faced challenges, sometimes rejections and disappointments, you came out of them with a new perspective and ready to embrace the changing world. I know you will find joy, kindness, and hope through all your journey. During the first 30 years of SOC, we've gone through a lot together, some good times and others that tested us, events that made the headlines and at the same time changed the world of communication, like the global financial crisis, 9/11, Hurricane Katrina, the invention of the iPhone, the election of our first Black president, the rise of the internet and social media, legalization of same-sex marriage, earthquakes, tsunamis, and wildfires, George Floyd's murder, Black Lives Matter, Amazon, artificial intelligence, strikes in Major League Baseball and in Hollywood, the Cleveland Cavaliers and LeBron winning the NBA Finals, Y2K, new Star Wars movies, the launch of Minecraft, and of course, COVID-19. As storytellers in the communication field, we played a part in all of this. In SOC, we don't stand still. These events and many more have inspired us to dig deeper, embrace causes, and to tell stories. We want to make media that matters. For example, during your time in SOC, you have published articles and photographs in the Washington Post, the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times. Your research has been published in the Journal of Communication and Media Studies and Journalism and Mass Communication Quarterly. You've reported on primary elections and gubernatorial races in the special primaries class. Had your environmental films broadcast on MPT, a major PBS station. You've exhibited your photographs as part of the DC Home Rule exhibition at the Historic Center and the Cuban Embassy. You have used the Humanities Truck as a mobile recording studio, recording incarcerated composers. You've made films with the National Park Service. You've traveled to Bergen, Norway, on a journalism fellowship. You've reported on police shootings, the opioid epidemic, and environmental racism as part of your time with the Investigative Reporting Workshop. You have worked on impactful strategic campaigns with clients like Home Depot, Aldi, Airlie Farms, and won second place in the prestigious Global Arthur Page Case Society competition. You are a member of a $15 million National Science Foundation grant on sustainability. You're also about to have your work published in The Nation as you think about race, ethnic, and community reporting. You have won Capital Emmys. You've interned at places like Mike Worldwide, NBC News, CBS News, the African American Civil Rights Network, the Embassy of Mexico, the Kennedy Center, Markham, Public Defender Services of DC, Street Sense Media, Congress and Senate, the Nationals, and Voice of America. That's just to name a very small few sample. And today, you've become a part of a family of alumni who have won Academy Awards in screenwriting, Pulitzer Prizes, have been named PR Week's 40 Under 40, started jobs at Nestle, Spotify, Library of Congress, top PR firms, become reporters for Fox Weather, Fox News, CNN, NFL Network, Turner Sports, Meet the Press, NPR, co-founded Peril, work at Teotihuacan Creatives, and have been nominated for numerous awards in film, including special effects for films like Black Panther, and won major awards at film festivals. You've also become the staff photographer at Getty Images, become a writer on Lois and Clark, and photographed for the Wizards and the Mystics. And who knows, one day, you too might become a dean. This is who we are at SOC, and this is what we do. So congratulations to our graduates, and welcome to your newest title, alumni. Thank you.
Thank you, Dean Jaswal. It's now my pleasure to introduce the Dean of the School of Education, Corbin Campbell, who will address the Assembly and introduce our student speaker. Dean Campbell.
Good evening, and congratulations, 2024 graduates, families, friends, and robust communities. And yes, congratulations. And a special thank you to the many staff and faculty of the Schools of Education and Communication. The longer I work in higher education, the more I know that it is not just the students that made it to graduation, but the swell of their communities that gets them here to this moment. So this day is for all of you. Part of the School of Education mission is to see education as a means to transform society. As Deeper Ayer describes in her 2017 framework, to build equity, liberation, justice, and solidarity. Yes, we need visionaries, but we also need builders and guides. We need both disruptors and healers. We need experimenters and weavers. And the graduates of the School of Education, I've seen you do all of those. But we also need bold educators and storytellers. In these moments, I want to be honest and authentic, that it would be really easy to focus on the challenges facing our democracy and our world, to the education system, and to all avenues for communication. We would see large divisions, censoring, lack of empathy, erasure, fear. The many ways that the challenges of today outweigh hope. But as the graduates of the Schools of Education and Communication well know, how we tell the story of the current moment and the way we help others learn about this moment in history matters. How do we understand this moment today in the life of the graduates sitting in front of you? I want to name that this particular commencement is especially meaningful. For the first time with our partner organization, City Teaching Alliance, we have graduates on the ground from DC, Baltimore, Philadelphia, and Dallas. Yes, it's really exciting. We also have our very first group of graduates who are teaching fellows. Yes. These students came to us from DC schools on a full scholarship and now have committed to going back in to teach in local DC schools. Just imagine what education would be if we had the local communities go back and teach directly to the communities. Congratulations, teaching fellows. I also want to name that I am so proud that in the history of the School of Education, this May, we have the most graduates ever. Which could not be more important in a time when we deeply need bold educators in the United States. Beyond firsts in the School of Education, there are so many meaningful stories of individual graduates. Those that missed their high school graduations due to COVID. And this commencement celebration is one for the ages. For those who gave up so much to pursue their education, for the financial sacrifices that need to be named, for those who left their communities behind, for those who worked days and went to school at night. Yes. For those who know they succeeded in challenging ableist views, or who brought rich understandings from communities that were very different than Northwest DC, or who came with English as a second language and tutored others in their first language, or who made new prayer and meditation spaces where there were none, or who spoke up to breathe joy in a moment of confusion, or who spoke truth in a moment of darkness. How am I coming to understand this moment? It is honestly through my awe of our graduates sitting before you today. And since we need bold education leaders It is my pleasure and my privilege to introduce our graduate student speaker today, Ms. Bailey Haynes. Bailey is a graduate of our master's program in education policy and leadership. She embodies the ideals of American University and is already an education changemaker. She hails from a small town in New Hampshire where she says she was raised by a loving community who fostered in her a love of learning and connectedness. Boy, do we need that today. She earned her bachelor's in secondary education and mathematics from Lesley University in 2022, where she served as undergraduate student government president. She previously served as a mentor and residential supervisor of Trio Upward Bound, providing support for first-generation and low-income college students. Now as an AU student, she served as a graduate assistant and reestablished the School of Education Graduate Student Council, and boy, do we need more student voice. In my meetings with Bailey this year, I can tell you that she brings forward that student voice, from ensuring that we have good shuttle service to the Spring Valley building, to developing more community spaces, to considering how to engage both on campus and online students, deeply needed in today, to ensuring that education is taken seriously as a field of study, which continues to be a challenge for the field of education across the nation. Bailey has made her mark on the School of Education. After graduation, she plans to teach high school math and then enter the policy sphere. I'm honored to introduce our 2024 graduate student speaker, Ms. Bailey Haynes.
President Burwell, Deans Jaiswal, Campbell, and Hobson, faculty and staff, support systems, and graduates of the Schools of Communication and Education. Good evening. On my first day of class as an American University student, I didn't know anyone, and transparently, was a bit nervous. Then, I started learning the backgrounds and hearing the stories of my cohort members, and transparently, was terrified. Everyone clearly possessed such rich, beautiful perspectives and held credentials that were nothing short of impressive. I felt like an imposter. Why was I even admitted into this school? Do I even belong here? Can I do this? Maybe I should move back to my very small hometown in New Hampshire. Flash forward a year. Semesters had gone by. I had fostered marvelous connections within and beyond the School of Education community. I had learned incredible lessons and theories from brilliant, thought-provoking faculty. I had earned grades that I was proud of. And yet, I still felt like an imposter. The facts were there. I was doing it. However, I had a voice in my head, a very loud, very persistent and convincing voice, feeding me this narrative that I was not good enough. We sit in a city and world of astounding company. Scholars, lawyers, policy and lawmakers, educators, global leaders, experts in their fields. Success is the expectation. It has become normalized, and while these expectations can be motivating, they can also be debilitating and can diminish our senses of pride and self. Let us not fall into this dangerous trap of normalization. I am in awe of the students sitting among us. Many have worked full-time while engaging with rigorous academic material. Others have raised children and served as mentors in their various communities. These graduates have navigated learning among a global landscape of violence, oppression, and biases. Yet despite our diverse identities, experiences, and programs, we share vital similarities. We care about the world and have worked tirelessly to gain the knowledge so that we may enact positive, meaningful, and sustainable change. Let us not have these individual and collective accomplishments be diminished by the mere fact that others around us are also triumphant. We are masters and doctors. Yes, we are flawed and must remain humble. And we should be proud of ourselves and of the communities that supported us in our efforts. As we go forth into this intimidating world, I implore you to remember who you are: a dedicated intellectual, a courageous leader, an effective communicator, a thoughtful educator, a graduate, an American University Eagle. Thank you.
Bailey, thank you so much. Bailey, thank you. I am now honored to join with our university community, parents, family, and friends in recognizing a very distinguished guest. University Provost Vicki Wilkins will now assist in the conferring of the honorary degree.
In granting honorary degrees, the university recognizes distinguished individuals whose life work represents the values, knowledge, and accomplishments that are embodied in the mission of this institution. Will Kwame Alexander please rise to receive the Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa. Kwame Alexander, you are a poet, educator, Emmy Award-winning producer, and #1 New York Times best-selling author with a mission to change the world one word at a time. Throughout your acclaimed career as a writer, you have authored 40 books, including This Is the Honey, an anthology of contemporary Black poets, Why Fathers Cry at Night, An American Story, The Door of No Return, and Becoming Muhammad Ali, which you co-authored with James Patterson. Your books have been recognized with several awards, including The Crossover, which won the John Newbery Medal, Rebound, which was shortlisted for the prestigious UK Carnegie Medal, and The Undefeated, which was a National Book Award nominee, Newbery Honor, and Caldecott Medal winning picture book illustrated by Kadir Nelson. You founded Big C Entertainment, a production company dedicated to creating innovative, highly original children's and family entertainment. Your projects include The Crossover, a television series based on your award-winning novel, for which you served as executive producer, showrunner, and writer. You're also a regular contributor to NPR's Morning Edition and creator and host of the Why Fathers Cry podcast, which features conversations with fathers and sons about love, parenting, and loss. You regularly share your passion for literacy, books, and the craft of writing around the world and at such events as the Chautauqua Lecture Series, the Edinburgh International Book Festival, and the Aspen Ideals Festival, and the Global Literacy Symposium in Ghana, where you opened the Barbara E. Alexander Memorial Library and Health Clinic. You recently appointed the Michael L. Rundle, Artistic Director of Literary Arts, and inaugural writer-in-resident at Chautauqua Institute.
Kwame Alexander, by the authority of the Congress of the United States vested in the Board of Trustees of American University, I am proud to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa. Congratulations, Kwame.
Thank you to President Burwell, Provost Wilkins, Board of Trustees, Deans Jaswal, Hobson, and Campbell, faculty, staff, family, friends, and most importantly, the graduating classes from the School of Communications and School of Education of 2024. On behalf of my family, Nandi, Samaya, Stephanie, Sean, and my first teachers who were the best educators I've ever encountered, the most brilliant communicators I've ever listened to or watched, my mother, Barbara Alexander, who was a folklorist and a school principal, and my father, who is here today, Dr. E. Curtis Alexander, a writer, a professor, and a preacher, I am honored to be your speaker today. As my father likes to say, you can't know what you don't know. Well, here's what I know. A poet is delivering the commencement speech at American University. A poet who won an Emmy. I wrote this speech twice and discarded it both times. I grappled with how I would speak meaningfully to the moment that we find ourselves in. I struggled with finding the voice to uplift an arena filled with students and loving parents who day by day are watching the seeds of peace being blown away like sand in a windstorm. So I turned to a poem. When the world is not so beautiful, be a change maker. Close your eyes, open the window of your mind. Be a golden bird chasing the sun with bold vision toward a dazzling new horizon of possibility and promise. And that poem led me to a particular African-American Baptist sermon, which is known as the most demanding speech to ever deliver. Most preachers won't even attempt to deliver it until they are well advanced in their ministry. The speech is called, "The Eagle Stirreth Her Nest." And it is about the eagle teaching her offspring to fly, how the divine can teach us, humanity, to soar. So today, on this revered stage, I humbly come with a message that I hope offers some insight into how to open the window of your mind, how to have a vision, and how to see it through. Today, I come to stir the nest, eagles. Class of 2024, are y'all ready to fly? Most people who stand on this distinguished stage will tell you what really matters is empathy, kindness, love, and that you should not be concerned with chasing the dollar. Mind you, most of these folks have built their wealth, and now they are concerned with being champions of hope and heart. I get it. We want better for you than we had for ourselves. We've learned a little bit, enough to wish we could turn back the clock and follow our own advice. Here's mine. Go out in the world and make your money. Go out in the world and make your money. Just don't let the money make you. It is okay to practice your passion and get paid. Being a poet, I have often been scolded for holding these two seemingly opposing forces at once, business and art. But I am here to tell you that we often have to hold conflicting realities at one time, and that ultimately, if we can do this in all parts of our life, we will become more open-minded people. I hear that you all are change makers for a changing world. Is that true? Well, being able to see more than one point of view, folks, is essential to changing the world positively. And let me just add this one other essential before I continue. None of this works. None of us are here today. There can be very little change in this world without the sacred work of teachers. And for that reason, I believe that teachers should be paid as much as LeBron and Taylor Swift. not finished yet. Graduating class of 2024, as you prepare to assume positions in this nation as entertainers and educators, as policymakers and publicists, as researchers and writers, as professors and producers, I want to share a story about being bold and chasing possibility, and that story begins with one word. Researchers have confirmed that language has the power to make the invisible real. Scientists believe that a single word can alter perception, and that word is yes. This is what I know. When you say yes to yourself, you are allowing your own words to shape your perception. You are saying, I allow me to shape my reality instead of having others shape it for me. I am a say yes person. I love saying yes. Now, of course, that can backfire sometimes, like when your 12-year-old asks, can she watch Bridgerton? Or when your 15-year-old said she wants to go out on a date. Still, to me, the yes is the most beautiful sounding word, but it can also be one that's hard to say, especially when you don't know what awaits you when you say yes. Many seasons ago, as a graduating senior at Virginia Tech, I participated in anti-apartheid rallies. I made signs, I marched, I wrote in protest. I wrote poems and short plays, and I found my voice and it felt good, so I wrote more poems and short plays. And one evening, the Spirit moved me to write a full-length play about the harm that disunity brings and about the value of community. And I believe that this play could offer something meaningful to the conversation, so I said yes to myself, to stirring the nest. I wrote a grant, and I used the balance of my scholarship money to rent a 2,000-seat theater, and I staged my first full-length production. On opening night, my mother, my father, and my wife came, and that was it. 3 people in a 2,000-seat theater. It was painful, y'all, and I didn't understand. I had said yes to myself, to possibility. I designed the costumes, the set, I directed and produced the play, but I'd forgotten to do one thing. I forgot to market it. I didn't advertise it. There were no promotions, and thus there was no audience. You see, the word yes creates the perception that you can do something, but the work creates the reality. There are no shortcuts to the new horizon. You gotta put in the work. For most of you, getting a job, getting to work is the first order of business now, right? It certainly was for me right out of college. My passion was writing, in particular poetry, and it just so happened that my father owned a book publishing company. So on the day after graduation, while my liberal arts degreed friends were moving back into their parents' homes and planning to work in restaurants, I went to work for my father. Now, mind you, his business was small, and my salary was smaller, just enough to take care of my new wife and child. We ate a lot of black beans and rice back then, folks. But the upside was my father was a book publisher, and I had written poems, so conventional wisdom said that A plus B equals yes, the beginning of my writerly career. So one day, while stapling catalogs and licking stamps for envelopes, I say to my father, I've written a book of love poems, and I'd like to... And before I could even finish that statement, my father looked at me, and he sort of laughed and said, man, poetry doesn't sell. My own father's great big old nose slapped me upside the head. And so I resigned. Because sometimes in order to say yes to yourself, you gotta say no to other people. On my last official day of work, I remember telling him that I was gonna start my own publishing company, and he did something I wasn't expecting. He gave me a check for $1,700 and said, this is a loan. And good luck. This is what I know. The no's are lessons, are tests. The no's are trials, and getting to the yes oftentimes requires you to not allow yourself to be defined by those no's. You must find the motivation to work harder, to fight through fear and opposition for the thing that you want. And the thing I wanted to be was a writer. So I got a job, waiting tables. at a restaurant in Washington, D.C., barely paying the rent with my tips. But in the morning and on breaks and after work, I wrote. I said yes to myself. I took that $1,700 loan and I published my first book of love poems that I immediately began promoting because I learned that lesson. I toured. Well, touring is a little bit more glamorous than what happened because I Greyhound bussed. I bummed rides around the country from Washington, D.C. subway stops to California street corners. And in Los Angeles, a friend had arranged for me to sell books in the gift shop of Maranatha Community Church. I had 160 books in the trunk of the friend's car. And as the sermon ended, the pastor acknowledged me and asked if I wanted to share a poem with the congregation. Now, I had spoken at church before. At 12 years old, I spoke on Youth Sunday and delivered a sermon that my mother helped me with. You made your bed, now sleep on it. However, this Sunday, the recitation was going to be a little bit tricky because my book was filled with love poems, many of them very suggestive. Talk about holding two opposing forces at one time. But I said yes and stood in the pulpit in front of a sea of black women and way too attentive little children, and I recited, "If you were a ladder, I'd climb you. Way up to the top and I'd find you. If you were a doorway, I'd enter you." I know, right? "If you were in front, I'd behind you. Pull out some espresso and grind you." And the whole time, the entire church is silent until a woman in the back screams out, "Hallelujah!" I sold 160 books. This, of course, meant that I could help pay for daycare for my daughter, and it meant that maybe I could surprise her at Chuck E. Cheese when I got back home. Yes means you walk through doors even when you don't know what's on the other side, because your eyes are on a new horizon of possibility and promise, and you will be rewarded for trusting your passion. The word yes is the most powerful prayer you can make. Did you know that amen means so let it be, or yes? Over the next decade, I became obsessed with yes, y'all. I became obsessed. Still intent on having a successful writerly career, I self-published 10 books, which sounds great, and it was, but it wasn't good enough to provide for my family. So I worked at the Department of Housing and Urban Development, and at Boeing, and at Lockheed, and I edited and proofread documents, and I didn't like any of it very much. I was still chasing the sun, but I could see it setting, and that dazzling horizon seemed to be moving further and further away. I knew in my heart that this was probably the beginning of the end of my writerly career. What I didn't know is what I want you to remember. The journey to where you are supposed to be is filled with a lot of little yeses that are prerequisites for the big yes. As the great actor Denzel Washington told us in the movie about the poet Melvin B. Tolson, the great debaters, do what you gotta do so you can do what you wanna do. Be patient. Be patient, be resilient. You are a dreamer, so go be a dream worker. Put in the work, say yes to yourself, and that is what I did. I kept saying yes to writing, even as the days slowly began to turn to night. And on one occasion, at a writer's conference, I met a publisher who said she was looking for a children's book and wondered if I'd ever consider writing a novel about a boy who played basketball, and could I tell the story in poems? And I'd never thought about doing that, but I said yes. And I wrote every day, 5 hours a day for 9 months, and I submitted the novel to her, and I got a quick rejection. The poems were good, the story was not. I rewrote the novel. In 6 months, another rejection. The story was better, but the characters weren't developed. I rewrote it, and resubmitted, until finally she told me to stop sending it to her. That the novel simply wasn't working, and the worst part was I didn't know how to fix it. So I hired a writing coach. who for 8 months put me through a literary boot camp. She redlined my manuscript, told me my crap was crap, and taught me things about storytelling that I simply didn't know. And when I finished, she deemed it a masterpiece. From there, I was referred to one of the biggest agents in the industry who promised to help me get a lucrative book deal. My time had come. The business and the art were on their way to meeting up. My creativity was en route to commerce. Yes, weekly, my new power agent began giving me updates on the masterpiece from publishers. Rejected, rejected, rejected. No one wanted to publish it, he said. After a year and a half of staggering in this literary limbo, I ventured to New York to meet him, to get guidance, to get professional advice on the next steps. It was a lovely day, y'all. The sun was shining, brilliant with possibility, when I sat down across from him in his 32nd floor corner office. So what's up, I asked. What are publishers saying about the novel? Well, Kwame, he started, truth is, I never sent your novel out to publishers. What do you mean? Kwame, you wrote a novel in poems, and as your agent, I don't think it was a good move. It's not the kind of book you want to define your career. There's this story, true story, about an enslaved African named Henry Box Brown who escaped American slavery by climbing into a crate and literally mailing himself to freedom. But here's the thing that people never talk about. What about the dude that Henry convinced to nail the crate shut after he was in it so he wouldn't be detected? What if that guy had decided that it wasn't a good move? This is what I know. Eagles, if you're listening to me, never let anyone lower your goals. Others' expectations of you are determined by their limitations of life. In order to soar, you got to be able to see the sky as your limit. And sometimes we need others to motivate us, to help us dream, to bounce ideas off. So surround yourself with people who share your bold vision, who you trust with your dreams, who say yes to your soaring possibilities. So I fired him. I grew despondent. Lost a little hope, felt my wings being clipped over and over, and over the next 5 years, I rewrote the book 11 times, got a new agent, received 23 rejection letters, and then I got the 24th, which was a yes. Finally, this novel I had written called The Crossover was published. It hit shelves and I hit the road, this time on a real book tour, promoting it tirelessly in bookstores and libraries. Students, teachers, and librarians were discovering it. And as the buzz grew tremendously, I could see the sun again, and it was bright. And then it got brighter. 2 decades after I'd resigned from my father's company, a year and a half after I'd been laid off from my umpteenth job, and 11 months since the book was published, I received a call that would change my life. I was fast asleep when my phone rang at 7:16. I jumped up and answered it. Hello, the caller said. I'm calling from the Newbery Committer to tell you that I knew the Newbery was the biggest award in children's books in America. I'm calling to tell you that I started thinking about all the rejections and what if I had given up after the first no or the 4th or the 11th or the 22nd. I'm calling to tell you that your novel, The Crossover, is the winner of the Newbery Medal for the most distinguished contribution to American literature. And finally, the one big yes I'd been waiting for. Suddenly, as the great poet Langston Hughes wrote, life was a big sea full of many fish. I let down my nets and pulled, and I caught everything, y'all. The book deals came, the brand partnerships, the lucrative speaking fees, and Hollywood. Turns out they wanted to make a TV show about my novel, and for 3 years, we developed and wrote and casted and produced season 1 in New Orleans, Louisiana. And when the show debuted on Disney Plus, I was swimming in a sea of yes. Surely there were no more no's in my future. I had caught up with the sun, crossed over the horizon, life was grand, and on November 2nd, it got grander, when at 3:03 p.m., I received the news that The Crossover had been nominated for 2 Emmy Awards, Outstanding Writing and Outstanding Teen Show. And then at 3:33 p.m., a Disney executive called to congratulate me on the nominations. And because my life was full of yeses now, I knew he was calling to tell me we'd been renewed for season 2. Kwame, I'm calling to tell you congratulations. I'm calling to tell you congratulations, and also, I don't want to get your hopes too high. So I thought I'd call you now and tell you that we've decided to cancel your show. It didn't perform well, and I hope I'm not putting a damper on your spirits. I didn't hear anything else he said for the next 10 minutes. I just sat there feeling all the rejections over and over again. The sun was gone, the horizon disappeared, and the hope that had been perched in my soul died. I decided to go to the Emmy ceremony. It was a 2-night affair, and on the first night, I sat in a room of 1,000 artists and entertainers and producers, and when the outstanding category was announced, the first of the night, I sat on the edge of my seat, wanting to win, telling myself, I'll show these Disney folks they made a mistake. But the announcer called someone else's name, and I was distraught, and the only thing that mattered in this moment was another no. Here we go again. This is what I know. On the second night of the ceremony, I sat in the audience realizing that no matter how many yeses you receive, that you manifest, the no's keep coming. Maybe they're coming to keep you honest, to keep you working, to keep you motivated, and they hurt. They hurt hard. The no's are a part of our life, a big part. It is the way the universe works. But here's the cool thing. Once all the no's come to your party and they're tired and they go home and they leave, what's left? What's left? Here's what I know. I sat in row 51 of the Emmy ceremony and realized that I'd written a book that nobody wanted to publish, won a Newbery Award, and produced my first TV show and been nominated for 2 Emmys. So yes, the truth is I'd already won. I sat at the Westin Hollywood, and when the Outstanding Teen Show category was announced, I had an epiphany. Kwame, as much as you know that the no should never define you, getting a yes must not define you either. Believing in ourselves, trusting our passion, living what we do is the win. I sat much like you're sitting today, Eagles, in your seat, waiting for your name to be called, realizing all the dedication and commitment to excellence and work that you have put in. That's the actual reward. And when the announcer said, and the Emmy goes to the I kid you not, he said the I was in the aisle dancing. He said the I was already on stage. He said the crossover, and I'm on stage, and I'm standing in front of the Academy and the 1,000 or so other entertainers and my peers, and would you believe that this poet was speechless? I have no idea what I said, Joe. But what I wished I would have said is what I leave you with today. This is what I know. Be tenacious. Believe in yourself, even when it seems that no one else does. Find your voice. Lift it for the things that matter, for the voiceless, for the invisible. Stir the nest, Eagles. Aim for the sky. Surround yourself with people who help you soar. Chase the sun with bold vision. Embrace the no's and the promise it masks. Practice face defeat. Trust your passion. Be a dream worker. Be a pocket full of plans. Be prepared for some to fail. Be okay with that. Be patient. Be resilient. Be your truth. Be grateful for how far you've come today, for this new place you are headed, and what a delight it will be when you turn the key and walk through that door tomorrow to discover all the change wanting to be made, waiting for you to make. Be ready to fall in love with the world and say yes, and say yes, and say yes to becoming yourself.
Thank you for those inspiring words, Kwame. And can I hear one big yes? Thank you. American University graduates, congratulations. This is my charge, and it will be short. That's my graduation gift to you. Savor this moment. It's one of those moments in life that we all dream about. It represents discovery, joy, opportunity, and yes, hard work and sacrifice. As you think back to the beginning, for those of you that are undergraduates, I know that the beginning didn't happen quite as you imagined it. I hope that you remember how you all took on challenges and made the most of opportunities. And for all of you, however, this time here, you have learned new things about yourself and the world that went beyond what seemed possible, and how you met the moment, lived your values, and worked to become the change that this world needs today. I've been reflecting a bit in the last few weeks as this is my last commencement as AU's president. And I've thought about how many times I've said over the past 7 years, commencement is my favorite time of the year. There is really something special about witnessing your journeys across this stage as you become AU graduates. For each one of you, you could write an entire book about how you got to this moment, holding this diploma, and that would just be the preface. Because to quote T.S. Eliot, to make an end is to make a beginning. Despite challenges, you persisted. You came together as a community to support one another and move forward together. You showed the world that this AU community is unstoppable. You showed all of us what it means to be change makers. And as you take your next steps and you launch the next phase of this journey, remember, your AU family will always be a part of you, and we are behind you all the way. Please look around you. These are the people who are going to continue to be a part of who you are. This is your community. You built it, you shaped it, and you are part of the fabric of AU, and this AU community will always be there for you. I said my charge would be short, and I meant it. So this year, I'm delivering my charge in the form of a haiku. For those of you who didn't take Lit 401 or the experience of poetry, just a reminder, a haiku is 3 lines, 17 syllables, written in a 5-7-5 form. And yes, I'm hoping for high marks on my final commencement charge. Okay, I'm going to pause because this is short. Are you all ready? Continue to learn. Seek places to have impact. Don't forget the fun. Congratulations, graduates, and remember, once an eagle, always an eagle. Now, the moment you all been waiting for, Provost Wilkins, let's begin the conferral of these degrees.
The conferral of doctoral degrees is a source of enormous pride and satisfaction to the university faculty. Since it was first awarded in Europe during the Middle Ages, the doctoral degree has been recognized throughout the world as the highest measure of scholarly studies. The hood with which the degree recipient is invested is an ancient and universally respected symbol. It is awarded after years of rigorous graduate study, during which each doctoral candidate demonstrates superior intellectual ability and a commitment to a discovery of new knowledge that makes an original contribution to their field of study. Today, we are pleased to recognize doctoral candidates who are escorted to our platform by their faculty advisors to symbolize their admittance into a community of scholars. Will the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy from the School of Communication please rise and remain standing?
Keep those channels closed.
Doctoral degrees from the School of Communication? Sorry, we only have none? Okay. Well, the candidates for the degree of the Doctor of Education, I know we got some of those. I see them right there. From School of Education, please rise. President Burwell, I am honored to present these candidates for the conferral of their degrees.
By the authority of Congress of the United States, vested in the Board of Trustees of American University, I confer upon you the degree for which you have been recommended and certified with its accompanying rights and responsibilities. I am proud to welcome you as a scholar among scholars and as an alumni of American University. Congratulations, Dean Campbell. Will you please introduce these doctoral candidates?
Congratulations, doctors. Will doctoral degree recipients from the School of Education please come to the platform with their dissertation advisors? Dr. Tokes Fashola will announce the degree recipients.
Michael Andrews, Doctor of Education in Education Policy and Leadership, hooded by Dr. Samantha Cohen. Belhika Marisol Cucalon, Doctor of Education in Education Policy and Leadership, hooded by Dr. Samantha Cohen. Kimberly Renee Johnson Redder, Doctor of Education in Education Policy and Leadership, hooded by Dr. Samantha Cohen. Courtney O'Reilly Smith, Doctor of Education in Education Policy and Leadership, hooded by Dr. Samantha Cohen. Jennifer M. Beckwith, Doctor of Education in Education Policy and Leadership, hooded by Dr. William Thomas. Anissa Michelle Blunt, Doctor of Education in Education Policy and Leadership, hooded by Dr. William Thomas. Adama Kanu Safa Wuya, Doctor in Education and Education Policy and Leadership, hooded by Dr. William Thomas. Amanda Marguerite Vivian Ross, Doctor of Education in Education Policy and Leadership, hooded by Dr. William Thomas. Ashley Renee Royal, Doctor of Education in Education Policy and Leadership, hooded by Dr. William Thomas. Is it Royal or Shamar Anthony Blunt, Doctor of Education and Education Policy and Leadership, hooded by Dr. Felton Moss. Deborah Ann Howard Stern, Doctor of Education in Education Policy and Leadership, hooded by Dr. Felton Moss. Aisha Lachey Crawford, Doctor of Education in Education Policy and Leadership, hooded by Dr. Andrea Guyden Pittman. Iris Nerida Bond Gill, Doctor of Education and Education Policy and Leadership, hooded by Dr. Amara Dakir. Tiffany Renee Hudson Simmons, Doctor of Education in Education Policy and Leadership, hooded by Dr. Amara Dakir. Jennifer Nicole Green, Doctor of Education and Education Policy and Leadership, hooded by Dr. Robert Simmons. Christopher J. Sable, Doctor of Education in Education Policy and Leadership, hooded by Dr. Robert Simmons. Douglas Arthur Tyson, Doctor of Education in Education Policy and Leadership, hooded by Dr. Robert Simmons. Kim Brogdon Jackson, Doctor of Education in Education Policy and Leadership, hooded by Dr. Kim Martin. Sharice Catherine Lane, Doctor of Education in Education Policy and Leadership, hooded by Dr. Eugene Pringle. Chelsea Renee Brewer, Doctor of Education in Education Policy and Leadership, hooded by Dr. Eugene Pringle. Sarah Caitlin Shea, Doctor of Education in Education Policy and Leadership, hooded by Dr. Anise Fisher. Brandy Berry Smith, Doctor of Education in Education Policy and Leadership, hooded by Dr. Janice Berry Edwards. Janice. Randy Lynn Stone, Doctor of Education in Education Policy and Leadership, hooded by Dr. Jasmine Rogers. Keisha Amanda Woods, Doctor of Education in Education Policy and Leadership, hooded by Dr. Antonio Ellis.
Congratulations to the doctoral graduates from the School of Education.
As we begin the conferral of the master's and bachelor's degrees, we ask that parents and guests remain in their seats as the students come to the stage for recognition. There will be a photographer on stage to record the event for every graduate. Objects that impede visibility, signs, banners, air horns, or noisemakers are prohibited. Candidates for the master's degrees, please rise and remain standing. Candidates for bachelor's degrees, please rise and remain standing. President Burwell, on behalf of the deans of the School of Communication and the School of Education and the faculty members who have taught and guided these individuals, I am honored to present these candidates for master's degrees and bachelor's degrees.
By the authority of the Congress of the United States, vested in the Board of Trustees of American University, I confer upon you the degree for which you have been recommended and certified with its accompanying rights and responsibility. The deans will now present our new graduates for individual recognition, beginning with the School of Communications. Dean Jayaswal.
Will the candidates for the master's and bachelor's degree from the School of Communication please come to the platform?
The following students are candidates for the degree of Master of Fine Arts.
Heather Brumley. Mary R. Supernow. Jamila Fain. Jep Jepa. Jianhui Xu.
Michelle Love Queen J. Croker. Michelle J. Queen Love Croker.
Marlene Johanna Cox. Emily Watkins. Becky Lake. Ma Chun Hao. Philip LaShawn Bachnight. Tara Lambert. Tajan Williams. Rakira Graham. Molly Lynn Bridges.
The following students are candidates for the degree of Master of Arts.
Michaela Rose Bradley. Zachary Lewis Ward. Caroline Elizabeth Cascio. Samantha Ashley Taharian. Elizabeth Gray. Lauren Bander. Kaylin Foland Texter. Sophie Beste Myers.
Lulua Al Sawood.
Bridget Bingle. Luis Carlos Perez Martinez. Sanjana Feroz. Nora Jacques. Milan Simone Moshe. Maxim Miao. Amy Alexandra Young. Angelica Barrios Nieves. Joseph Benj. Brooke Imani Watson. Molly Sloan Schachter. Lydia Catherine Sullivan. Zainab Uzen. Leslie Nicole Wiley. Gashi Chabra. Lauren Renee Spires. Madeline Scherer. Alexandra Angle. Travis Kevin Barito. Lyndon Killam. Cecily Jackson. Jasmine Mianette Musgrave. Haley Jardis. Megan Elizabeth Boffman. Joseph Ashton Cramwell. Adam Atayabi Butler. Brad Lewis. Redit Negede Lewi. Benjamin Ross. Justin Markov. Sarah Bayat Hashemi. Hongcheng Zhang. Gabrielle Maxine Locke. Sarah Marie Ebsworth. Daniela Alejandra Lobo Rivera. Siddhi Prabhanjan Priya Mahatoli. Brooke Elizabeth Matthews. Anna Bacallis. Renee Coleman. Dimitra Chipianitis. Rosario Lisette Rucoba Chavez. Alexandria Harris Beeks. Kashana Duncan. Cameron Jennings Adams. Nicholas Vaughn Fogelman. Riley Owen Cedar. Dima Sari Amro. Julia Luz Serena Muketo. Catherine Kleiman Hapgood. Mirika Vasanta Rayaprolu.
The following students are candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts.
Sarah Bunsa. Skylar Pingle. Lucia Carson. Kate Sokol. Grace Gallagher. Hannah Page Mahoney. Kalia Cordasco. William M. Timme. Amanda Candace Bosses. Samantha Choi Smith. Declan Flanagan. Casey Bacot. Allison Trinity Kraus. Annabelle Parveen Anthony. Sana Mamtani. Sarah Rose Metcalf. Madison Gatesman. Timothy Pritchard Sievers. Zoe Kalenikos. Abigail Lynn Williams. Daniela Spino. Spalding Andrews Bingaman. Abigail Stuckrath. Bin Lojie. Audrey Hill. Helena Shanley Milburn. Megan Seaman. Catherine Gilroy. Neil Franklin. Benjamin C. Bennett. Jordan Vale. Hallie Michael Brannick. Maggie Kahn. Mina Allen. Daniela Jimenez. Tiffany Brianna Roy. Faith Isho Chung. Yareni Murillo. Joseph David Reberkenny. Ian Gunderson. Kevin Mahoney. Barbara Porco Galina. Jody Lynn Mancuso. Rowan Jersvold. Melanie Orosio. Madeline Miller. Catherine Wurst. Aline Behar Cado. Eliza Porcher Dubose. Leah Yang Chen. Anna Patrice Nicole Lemaster. Riley DeRubo. Jack Neese. Carly Brooke Zolman. Dulce Maria Lara. Alejandra Urbano Rodriguez. Elizabeth Baker de Guzman. Jordan Elise Mitchell. Connaught Wesley Riley. Eli Rubinson. Olivia Pincus. Allison Lauren Fader. Molly Stites. Margaret Grace Bishop. Samantha R. Hergesell. Gia Witt. Anna Gail Culbertson. Elizabeth Kathleen Aston. Riley Kate Pappas. Caitlin Newport. Anastasia Meininger. Sarah McDonald. Natalie Flynn. Sarah R. Winnick. Donald Malloy. Zoe Quinn Bell. Isabel Kravis. Leah Argyropoulos. Jordan Ray Young. Isabel Amelia de Oliveira. Lindsay McCormack. Ava Bagdasarian. Charlotte Rose Becker. Michaela Elizabeth Bowman. Sarah Jacobs Clayton. Tristan Weng Tung Ao. Cody Rogers. Spencer Hoover.
Fatima Garcia Gonzalez.
Sonia Aurelia Souder Harnish. Shutong S. Olenek Murray. Eliza Beauvais. Elizabeth Taman Kim. Sydney Rachel Mensch. Victoria Avery Promise Pittman. Allison Rachel Schnorr. Blake Lauren Gutterman. Bei Ning Dai.
Erica Martinez. Angelina Deidre Sansil.
Grace M. Rowland. Madison Michelle Wooten. Frank J. Gittleman. Noah M. Parrott. Jacob Shepard Fishman. Wesleyan Hansen. Curtis M. Huber. Philip Kalubia.
Go, Philip.
Grace Mary Harmon. Abigail Lauren Pritchard. Ava Harumi Waltman Scheffler. Caitlin Margot Corliss. Katie Tran. Kyra Hope Plord. Aisha Boudoir. Ji-Sung Kim. Rachel Bess Lippitz. Jessica K. Bates. Samantha Exene Margot. Aaron Kostchoff Rapkin. Jessica Rose Thompson. Fiona Go. Catherine Dorans. Caroline J. Johnson. Kasia Bandrowski. Eli Daniel Leroy. Frederick P. Gelhoff. Dylan Nicholson. Jalinda Montez. Zachary Alexander Olson. Catherine Bongiovanni. Julia Rebecca White. Pablo Soto. William H. Harrison. Marissa Sasso. Khalil Noah Mayer. Jung Nao Tam. Minkyu Song. Chen Yu. Li Tianmiao. Grace Gervey. Nadia S. Burney. Chloe Ferguson. Chase Alexandria Vincent. Alexandra H. Skinner. Qi Jia Zhao. Jingrong Zhong. Zihan Zhang. Yingtai Yan. Keming Liu. Rachel Sarah Sturm. Gabriela Perez. Ana Patricia Zanetti Alfaro. Sofia Amador de Gracia. Leticia Bernard. Alexandra Victoria Okendo.
Lauren Easley. Lucia Lujiao Lu.
Where do I go?
Congratulations to the graduates of the School of Communication. Dean Campbell will now present the candidates for the School of Education.
Will the candidates for master's and bachelor's degrees from the School of Education please come to the platform?
The following students are candidates for the degree of Master of Arts.
Iverson Carter. Patrick Way. Faith Ellen Arthur. Tashana S. Campbell. Susan O'Connell. Ethan Fuselaire. Kadrin Parker. Anthony Jerome Lewis Vernon. Claire Ellen Cargis. Autumn C. Smith. Gabriela Lisette Nunez. James R. Silveria. Shane Doherty. Zoe Eva Dobkin. Ana Sofia Alvarez Mena Figueroa. Tai Ying Nalu Lee. Marinella Nicole Konanan Lumbre. Lindsay Sybil. Sangeeta Goyal. Angelina Lowe. Hannah Rasmussen. Isabella Weissman. Jessica Beth Levinson. Ryan J. Slejeski. Madison T. Bellinghausen. Chase Sheppy. Ellery Ann Finn. Constance S. Abasa Ado. Rachel Ann Potter. Javon Adote. Madison Lee Armitage. Madison J. Brewster. Michael Patillo. James Miles Crine. Mo Zhang. Emily Esmeralda Fox. Kendria Wilson. Justin Mulbach. Olivia L. Henry. Todd Brenner. Mary Camille Lovely. Jesse Anthony Lima. Olivia Stewart Linarts. Dahlia Isabel Bernstein. Nathan Xavier Good. Ora Rebecca Battle. Allison Marie Gomez. Jennifer Waldman Blaine. Bethany Ann Matthews. Paige Martin. Maria Arroyo Peña. Casey Michael Hearn.
Janice Marie Pleasant.
Nicholas Moses. Isis Nkenji Green. Michael Marinelli. Melanie Marulanda. Juan Garcia Davis. Yua Solar Fletcher. Catherine Mayer. Vincent P. Gamina. Aaliyah Stanley. Nija Brown. Jarnay Taylor. Meredith Heyer. Julian Lewis Rubel. Jamirius I. Mooney. Christian Savoy Branch. Rodrigo A. Campos. Gabriel C. Parrish. Kyla Camille Brewer. Kamal Jameson. Maria Elena Wilson. Abigail Rose Shearer. Rachel Sophie Isralowitz. Emilia Tobar Garcia. Shaban Costello Fry. Ebony Kirstens Thomas. Rachel Fanny Ehrlich. Tori Indigo Patterson. Madeline Irene Crawford. Kimberly A. Linford. Kathleen Anderson Woodward. Alexandra N. Mondalis. Ashleen M. Callan. Shanaira Howard. Corinne Jackson. Brianne Sandy. Marcus Joseph Julian. Marsalis C. Bird. Trayvon K. Williams. Alexandria Collins. Laura Yanette Martinez Flores. Tyler Ford. Tamia Vade Divine. Crystal Onoha. Dejani D. Cosby. Trinity Martin. Tamira Cyan Hamilton. Kamarie Snipes Thomas. Ella Ray Spratt Zarzinski. Rihanna Nichols. Alelia Nicole Shelton. Taylor Nicole Anderson. Trinity D. Sager Barr. Robert Martin. Desiree McLenithan. Catherine A. Prentice. Anthony D. Swearingen. Amara Rebecca Webb. Paula Scipio Menifee. Sally Cobb Weltner. Hannah Fickett. Carissa Ruffin. Lauren Kelly Smith. Andrew Dye. Casey Nguyen. Ayana J. Hightower. Seth Monfiston. Joshua Weisbard. Marianne Elizabeth Burst.
The following students are candidates for the degree of Master of Education.
Brianna Spady. Sharon Monique Perry. Lauren Elizabeth Sim Gustafson. Laura Ann Minion. Ethan Barbin. Bailey Haynes. Adriana Michelle Metten. Dimari Cyril Creaky. Minha Kim. Kesia Valle. Angeliki Papari Kosiori. Allison Keykoller. Caitlin Reese Durkin. Nabunu Diaby. Mary Monda Uo. Gabrielle Cecile Mendy. Allison M. Ritz.
Tamaya Miller.
James Berkman. Erica Monique Burton. Janelle Gordon. Antoine Hairston. Kiana Patrice Mister. Kadeen Thomas. Susu Atasi. Megan Cranley. Grace J. Muselli. Jaron James Newby. Willie C. Anderson, Jr. Christia Marie Jordan Evans. Delmis Umansor. Robert Christopher Bass. Melshon Demond Randolph. Bridget Flowers Green.
Ayana Turner.
Jalea Pruitt. Adrian Renee Porter. Alexis Jourdain Walker. Quand Lang, Jr.
The following students are candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts.
Sarata Gumane. Samaria Pugh. Eric Joel Marquina. Andrea Nelcha. Chloe Eiffel. Qudsiya Saeed.
Good job, Qudsiya.
Lorena Quintana. Kira Daniels. Catriona Nicole Philomena Plord. Elizabeth Municky. Hannah Tibbetts. Geffen Goldstein. Lily Sybil Serber. Chloe Esther Wapnick Leeds. Hannah Jane Simmons. Lila Rose Green. Vanessa Flores Renderos. Victoria Emery Walton. Benjamin Bliss Sosno. Eva Jane Whitaker.
Congratulations to the graduates of the School of Education.
I congratulate you and welcome you as alumni of American University. Will our new graduates all please rise? As a symbol of your new status, you may now move your tassels from right to left. Move your tassels. Move your tassels. Yes, yes, move your tassels. Move your tassels. Please join me in congratulating the graduating classes of the School of Communications and the School of Education for Spring 2024. As we conclude this 147th commencement ceremony, I want to thank all of you all, our parents, our family members, our friends, members of our university community for participating in this important occasion. The School of Education had their reception before. The graduates and their families from the School of Communication should go and meet at the reception at the Media Innovation Lab. Will the audience please remain in their seats until the platform party, the faculty, and most importantly, our new graduates have recessed from the auditorium. This ceremony has now concluded.
Aye.